Both in ancient Hindu Vedas as well as in Iranian Avesta, the Devas play major roles. The Iranians say that the Devas are bad, while the Indians say the opposite. Today, we are going to find out their origin. The biblical Misraim of Egypt, known as Indra in Hinduism, was the head of the Devas. It's because Egypt started exerting power over ancient India in about 300 years after Noah's flood. However, the rest of the Devas are Vedic Indians. Around 3100 BC, Noah's rebellious son Ham, who was in Egypt with his son Cush, had killed Haman, the king of Libya. Then, when Haman's son Dionysus, also known as Hemant Kumar, grew up, he wanted to avenge his father's death by killing Ham. Being well versed in shipping, Ham escaped and came sailing to South India. With him was his first wife, Preeti, his second wife, Rati, and his bodyguards, a group of men called the Aborigines. These Aborigines were huge in build because they had intermingled with the fallen angels, just like Genesis 6:4 states about the pre-flood days and also the days after that. Well, when the Indians met the Aborigines, probably they wanted to know how come they are so huge. Maybe they said that they were Devas, meaning divine beings, referring to their fallen angelic connections. Needless to say that they intermingle with the locals as well. This is the first instance of African people mixing with the Indians who used to be purely white, them being the direct descendants of Noah's grandson Javan, just as the Greeks are. The modern Tamils still remember this encounter when Ham and Rhea, known as Manmadan and Rati, visiting them and introducing the lovers festival known as Vasantavira, which is the same bacchanalia that Ham used to do with the Italian youth when he corrupted them following the death of their first king, Gomer. Then, more mixing of races took place in North India when Ham's son Cush, who was the father of Lord Rama and his people such as Vishwamitra, followed suit within the next 100 years. Vishwamitra killed Noah's righteous son Shem, the King Bharat of India, also known as Harishchandra by the masses. Now, coming back to our story, the mixed population of the South turned out to be brown, brave, warrior-like people with large frames and long limbs. They call themselves Devas, which exactly means Devas in Sanskrit. In fact, the Devas still exist in Tamil Nadu, friends. Because of their size and strength, they do well in sports as well. I had the privilege of meeting one of their elderly stars known as Volleyball Marasamy, who represented India during a World Cup tournament in Moscow. He was really tall, dark, and surprisingly, he had very light eyes, which is not a common feature there. Furthermore, in the British times, there were village chieftains in South India called village munsif, whose job was to maintain records, arbitrate local disputes, and collect taxes for the British government. However, they were normally Brahmins who were too soft to collect money from people. So their assistants remained one of these Devas whom people feared. And because these people predate even Lord Rama, Vishwamitra, and Rig Veda itself, these are the original Devas, friends. Thanks for watching.